Hey guys, once again welcome to another video. This is Max from the server 133. So here is this amazing moment of my life. I'm playing in the server versus server war. So let me give you a bit of the details about what is in server versus server war. So this is the competition that happens after your server becomes few months old, or maybe few weeks old, or maybe some days old. I guess it's months, 2 months old. So at this moment we are fighting against the server 164. Server 147 has merged with server 133, so it's basically now called as server 133 versus server 164. Now right now I am at the enemy server. If you can check my coordinates, I am currently at server 164. So I'm going to show you a few of these crazy tips that can help you to stay on the enemy server and earn some points. So how do you earn points in the server versus server war, and what is the motto of the SVS? So SVS is basically a set of competitions, like how we have the weekly monarch competition of the server monarch competition, wherein you have the troop training, power up, gathering, boss hunting, monster hunting, city development, and then the kill enemies event. Like various set of events together, they form one single event. That is the weekly competition. In the server versus server war, we have got 6 different events, from which first one, I mean the order changes every time, but then we have the uh, troop training, the resource gathering, the power increasing, city development, monster hunting, and the last is the kill enemies, the KE. And here is what the server versus server war details are. Right, so there are ways to earn scores in the game. Once you reach every score level, you receive some points, and these are the server ranking. Now to find out how do you get points or how do you get scores, you look at the get scores option and you will find out these things at the bottom which says how you can earn points. So occupying the enemy server's throne for 1 second, occupying the enemy server's harvest temple, hunter temple, forging temple. Then these are killing the monsters, killing the bosses, common monsters, enemy troops, boss monsters. These points you can have a look, and these are the rewards. So if you manage to score 64 million points, you get the super monarch reward, which is the super server war monarch score package that gives you 15,000 gems. Now if you look at all of these, this is 2000 gems, this one gives you 4000 gems, 2 4 6, then it is 8, then it is 10 and 15. If you do the maths, this is a good figure around, I think it is like 35,000 to 40,000 gems that you can earn by playing actively and properly. Plus these are the other rewards that you get depending on your ranking or depending on your scoring. That's how it goes. Now one more very important is the ranking of the alliance. There is also alliance rank package depending on what rank your alliance stands. Plus you have the spot where you can see who has given how many points, because in this game when you are fighting against someone, you are hitting at the same time you are sure to get hit. So when you get hit or you hit somebody, you also lose some troops because it's a fight, you have destruction. And this is where you can see players have lost points. Again, it is secondary to see this, but it is necessary to understand that people have given points, because when you try to fight, you unbubble, you hit, and at the same time you have your troops that can get hit, so you need to defend those as well. Now let me show you one of these crazy moves. It's called as ghosting. So how does ghosting work? The moment you go onto the enemy server, you can do 2 types of ghosting. One of the ghosting is where basically you just ghost on the enemy keep. The other type of ghosting is you ghost on the enemy bosses or server bosses. You can also do the same at your server as well. Now there are pros and cons, so let me demonstrate what is ghosting. So before ghosting, first I'm going to be cancelling one of these rallies. So you see an enemy, you press on them, you press alliance war, choose 60 seconds and press march. Now what happens is your troops are now in the rally. If you go into your keep and you check your troop details, you will see there are 0 troops, because I have ghosted all of my troops in this. So if somebody comes and hits me, I will not lose a single troop. Let me show you a sample report. This is where I was hit by a player. So it says defense lost. The enemy has hit me with a good power, though I cannot see the power of the rally, but I can show you that there were 2.143 million troops, whereas on the other hand I have 0 troops in the keep, and my total power is 46.6 million, and I have lost nothing. So this is how it works. When you ghost, nobody can hit you. I mean, even if they hit you, you're going to lose your wall HP. You're going to need to spend some gems to put out the fire, because if you don't put out the fire, you will be force ported back to your own server. Now, how to do a ghost rally on the bosses? Remember, if you're planning to do ghost rally on the bosses, it is going to cost you stamina. So if you plan to do so, first you need to have adequate amount of stamina on your account. Right now I'm having 123 stamina. So how do you ghost rally on the boss? So I'm going to cancel one of these rallies. Let's say I want to ghost on this skeletal dragon. So I press attack, alliance war, 60 seconds, and march. So now for the next 60 minutes, I said 60 seconds, I'm sorry for that. For the next 60 minutes, my troops are in a rally and you cannot see my troops. No matter whatever you do, if another person shows up and he scouts me, he will not find anything. So basically I have ghosted my troops. Even if somebody comes to scout, they'll find nothing. Plus, even if somebody hits me, they find nothing. So this is the second technique of ghosting. It is called as ghosting on the troops, ghosting on the bosses. Now, when is ghosting on the troops or ghosting on the troop keeps? I'm sorry, I'm using wrong terms. When is ghosting on the enemy keep beneficial, and when is ghosting on the enemy bosses beneficial? Let's say if you're playing on the defending server, you're playing on your own server, I would recommend you to ghost on the bosses. The reason I would request you to do so is so that you can bubble up. You cannot use truce agreement while you are ghosting on an enemy player. You cannot apply truce. Yes, that is the hard fact. But if you are ghosting on a boss, like I guess right now I am, if this is the scenario of my ghosting, I can still apply truce in the middle of a fight. Now here is the wow factor. No matter whatever happens, whatever the scenario is, you ghost on the enemy server, you can save your troops. You ghost on your server, you can save your troops. So I'm going to quickly demonstrate you a technique that I use for ghosting during the server versus server war. So first you browse around the map and you find a keep that you want to ghost on. Okay, right now I'm going to first find a boss that I'm planning to ghost on, and I'm going to bookmark the boss like I just did with the dragon skeleton. I have already done the hard work. I have bookmarked this keep that I'm going to ghost on. Rest of the buildings are not important. So I've got two bookmarks ghost on my account. One is a boss and one is a keep. So you're going to do this very quickly. I'm going to cancel these marches. I'm going to teleport somewhere random and I'm going to ghost. So how do you also use the random teleport? This is your random city teleport. Remember, you need to be very quick in ghosting, because if somebody arrests you and hit you, you are gone. Alright, so I'm at a huge risk right now because I'm in the enemy server, and if somebody catches hold of me, I am dead. There you go. Now I have ported. Oh wow, I am just next to an enemy keep. So I'm going to do this quick ghosting. Done. Now my troops are safe. Now I don't need to worry about it. I see there's an enemy in front of me. I should scout. I can see the reports quickly. If you think it's worth hitting this keep, you can hit. Right now there are no troops, 15,000 traps, a bit of resources. So I can try this. I can try hitting this keep for resources. Always remember what set of troops you're using to hit the enemy depending on the traps that they have. So at this moment I don't have the luxury to use any march preset, but if I just have a look at the traps that he has, it's hardly 15,000, so it will not have a good impact over me. I can just simply give him one hit. The hit is of only 4 seconds. Normally you should be quite closely ported to an enemy when you're planning to hit, so that you have the advantage. of the range, or I would say the distance. That is very important. Now you see I have ghosted my troops. I have nothing to worry about. I can see few enemy keeps nearby, so I'm going to sit there and scout nicely and quietly and just see what I can get. I see a keep that has some troops. This is a good chance. I'm going to take this shot. You see, this lag can be a huge issue. So the moment you see your screen lag, you need to just simply save your troops. So you can just ghost at that moment. Now I'm going to show you a scenario in which you may need to be very quick in ghosting, unghosting, reghosting, or whatever it is. Now at this moment my troops have left to attack an enemy player, but there is a good chance somebody from the enemy server can port behind me and give me a hit. That hit can make me lose my troops. So I need to be very careful. It's 18 seconds my troops are going to return. I have no idea if I'm going to get hit or if somebody is going to port right behind me. I have to be alert. So while the troops are returning, I should be quite prepared to either ghost my troops or put them out on a mission or to save them, because if I fail to do so, I might end up losing those troops. So I'm going to quickly keep hitting the monsters and the bosses because that gives me points. Now remember, I have ghosted rest of my troops, that is my range troops, my siege and my ground. I'm using the mounted troops for playing or hitting the low level keeps because they don't really do much of the benefit when you're playing against the players. The best one to have in player versus player scenario is the range, siege and ground. Anyways, this was all about ghosting and playing in server versus server war. Now there are ways that you can earn points, one which I showed you by killing enemy players, one which I showed you by killing bosses on the enemy server. The other is by scouting the fairy fires. So I'm not able to find any fairy fires at this moment, but then if you browse a little around you, you should find a little fairy fire spirit, something which looks very cute. I don't want to miss these bosses. I'm going to bookmark them. Fairy fire spirit looks, I don't know what it looks like. Any which ways, doesn't matter. You will eventually find out when you are playing SVS. You'll see those little fairy fires dancing around level 25 and they keep moving around. So they are good if you play smart. Now one thing, let me show you. When you see something like this on a player, this shield kind of a thing, it's two things: either they are in the enemy server playing or they are basically in the battlefield. So if this is a battlefield, you cannot do anything, but if this person is in the enemy server, that is in my server, this is how the subcity is going to look like. And when he comes back to our server, the subcity is going to be unbubbled. So one thing I can do is I can keep an eye on this player for a while, and if he gets unbubbled, I can simply just go and hit him. So once again, this is the end of the video. I'm really happy that you guys made time to watch it. If you have any more questions, you can connect with me. You guys know my account. That's how you spell it, MaxJewel. You just write it on the mail. Go into the mail and you write it here, and you can send it to me any with your questions and doubts, and I'll make a video about it. This is just a basics of server versus server war. To play more in advance, I'm going to be needing my alliance help. At the moment they are occupied, but then this is what the temples look like. So this is one of the temples. Did I just, yeah, it should be somewhere here. That's one of the temples. So there are total 1, 2 and 3 temples in the game, and this is where the throne is. So throne war starts at around the next few hours. That you see over here, it says 8 hours. So that's all about the game, the basics. Rest you have to learn by experience. And as I showed you, ghosting, you can use ghosting in the battlefield too. You can use ghosting on your own server, which is during the KE. You can ghost at your own server. The only disadvantage is your sub-cities are open. If you are somebody who has blue subordinate cities, purple subordinate cities, golden subordinate cities, somebody can coordinate and hit your account subs and they can capture it quickly. So that's one thing that you need to be careful about. Now I'm going to get back to the mission of finding out this player's keep, where it is and what is the status. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching the video. Hope this was helpful. Until then, take care. This is Max signing out.